flag or the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jason, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, especially here tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Nita, roll call, please.
Counselor Locke.
Here.
Counselor Lorenz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola.
Here.
Mayor Becker.
Here.
Counselor Howard will be absent this evening and is excused, and a quorum is declared.
Get any further, we want to welcome County Commissioner, Mr. Glover. Thanks for joining us. Sure. Modifications to the agenda,
No, sir.
approval of consent agenda, minutes of regular meeting from July 6th. Review and approval of accounts payable.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda for the minutes of regular meeting from July 6, 2023, and review and approval of accounts payable. Is there any discussion? Nita?
Counselor Locke.
Aye.
Counselor Lorenz.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola.
Aye.
Mayor Becker.
Aye.
Motion carries to approve the consent agenda.
Proclamations, communications, and appointments. Swearing in of officers. Abelardo, is that right? Correct? And Ashley Carter. Right, chief?
All right, so we're finally been here 3 years and finally have full staff, so this is pretty awesome to have these two of the last two join us. I already started the FPO, so obviously we're just wondering, but we're just starting on it. So Officer Ashley Carter came to us from the Alamos County Sheriff's Office. She was a deputy there, and we call him Al because most people can't say his first name, but he's fresh out of the academy and stuff, and both are doing fantastic and stuff. So let's just have full staff support. So we're gonna do the ceremony swearing in, and they each have somebody that in the match. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Ashley Carter.
Abelardo Lucas, do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. I will support the Constitution of the United States. I will support the Constitution of the United States. The state of Colorado. The state of Colorado. And the ordinances of the city of Monte Vista. And the ordinance of the city of Monte Vista. And I will faithfully perform the duties. And I will faithfully perform the duties of police officer. Police officer. To which I have been appointed. Which I have been appointed. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations. Want to match. And Al, who you gonna have to do best? His mom, even better. Always better.
Congratulations.
Okay, we'll do citizen comments. City council welcome adjourn scheduled comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Council will not take action at this same meeting. Margot, I am watching you. Citizen comment.
Why not?
Hello, City Council.
Mayor, I'm so happy to be here. I just, want to say kudos to Bob Richards for the stuff he is doing with our theater. It is just amazing. He is doing such a wonderful job. The popcorn is out of this world. And the movies that he's bringing on, it's just a joy to see. And I think the people are really appreciating the matinees, especially the older people I talk to who don't like to drive at night, appreciate having that to go see, you know, they can go see the movies. And then my other thing is, I have been not very happy with some people in our community who want to keep blowing up for the, you know, the 4th of July, the big bang. My dog is in a constant state of panic, and I know my dog isn't the only one. And you know, it's almost 2 weeks after the 4th. You think they would quit eventually? It just drives me, it upsets me just a little bit. And the other thing is the motorcycle guys. There is a speed limit in town. And I'm sorry, I sit there and I watch them go through that stop at least 50, 60 miles an hour and not stopping. And somebody's going to get hit. And it just, but otherwise, everything is fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Anybody else? Mr. Glover?
Sir,
Citizen comment? Sure.
yeah. No, she covered everything. Mark, I have a longer picture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, if that's okay.
Yes, ma'am. Be sure and sign that paper up there.
I will. Well, there's no pen.
Here you
Well, and it's covered. Thank you.
Everybody throw a pin at her.
Thank you. So I just wanted to thank you for allowing that wonderful clinic here in Monte Vista. I'm super excited. The one that opened with Dr. Pence. I have 2 autistic children, and they just opened that for neurological children here in Monte Vista, and I'm super excited about it. It actually brought me to tears to be at that ribbon cutting ceremony that they had. And I think it's so neat that the town of Monte Vista is being so open now to the kids with the neurological problems. So it's going to make a big difference for all of the children everywhere all over the valley. And it's really exciting. So I just wanted to say thanks. It's awesome. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Resolutions. Resolution 2023-09. A resolution to conduct a coordinated election with Rio Grande County.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is Resolution 2023-09, resolution asking permission for council to approve a coordinated election with the Rio Grande County Clerk and Reporters. The election will take place on November 7th, 2023, with Rio Grande County Clerk and Reporters. I would ask approval for this resolution to be passed this evening.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2023-9, resolution to conduct a coordinated election with Rio Grande County.
Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 2023-09. Resolution for coordinated elections for the city of Monte Vista with Rio Grande County Clerk and Recorder. Is there any more discussion? Nita?
Councilor Locke?
Aye.
Councilor Lorenz?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Segola?
Aye.
Mayor Becker?
Aye.
Motion carries to approve resolution 2023-09. Resolution for coordinated election for the city of Monte Vista with the Rio Grande County Clerk and Reporters scheduled for November 7th, 2023.
Okay. We're moving right along. We're at. Make sure we don't have any finance report tonight. No, okay. Staff proposals, reports and actions. We will start with recreation.
They put me in timeout. So.
Again.
So I really don't have anything. We're ending our baseball season, getting ready to kick off with football, cheerleading, and girls volleyball. But we did receive another $6,000 grant from the Lower Foundation for the shore for our baseball program, and just ordered some more equipment. So that would be nice that being able to catch up on equipment. And if you ever drive by the back here, there's $14,000 worth of soccer goals back there that we just received and put together. So that's awesome.
Durbin,
Thank you, Drew.
Durbin, would you please tell them about the volunteers that have been working for the last few weeks?
Okay.
And see if they even want to attend the dinner? we
Okay.
have?
We're gonna be having dinner. We have a youth organization, Youth Works. They've been coming and volunteering. They've done some stuff for Stephanie, Kanika, and volunteering. Just, I mean, whatever we ask them to do, they do. For weeds at the baseball fields, get the rocks off the baseball field. We actually put the soccer goals together. It is a religious-based organization. They're from all over the country. Like this week, we had Texas and Idaho that came down. I think we had about 13 kids that were here Monday and Wednesday. Matter of fact, one of the leaders fixed our plumbing out at the baseball fields. As a volunteer, we just had to go out and buy the equipment for it. So that was awesome. We didn't have to pay for that. But we are going to do a volunteer dinner for them on Wednesday at 5 p.m. over at Chapman Park. If you all would like to come and just brief meet with them. Like I said, every week we had a different group, so we'll have a different group next week. And we will have about 75 volunteer leaders and kids over there that we're going to feed dinner. So you're more than welcome to come and join us if you'd like to.
Wednesday at 5?
Yes, ma'am. At 5.
I said 5.
Okay.
Well, I said 5, but I thought you'd understand.
Okay. That's good. Thank you, Ms. Locke.
Thank you, Durbin.
Any questions?
Wait till he said down and somebody asked him something.
Oh, Durbin, I'm just kidding.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members. It's been a while since I've been here. Jumping on that bandwagon, the volunteers were huge at Sky High. They helped us so much for the month of June and July, just getting rooms flipped and cleaned, especially because we were so short-staffed. It was absolutely wonderful to have them. So thank you so much. As far as our numbers go, June, we ended up having 30 events. July, we're on schedule to again have 30 events. In August, right now, we have 18 events. That puts us at about 345 events for the year, which we're exhausted from, but we're getting there. Since it's been a while since I've been here, I did attend that conference for venue managers in Florida for a full week. I did pass my test. So it's all good. I can go back for year 2. But I did learn a lot. There's still a lot of information for me to go through, but I was able to already implement different strategies within the first week of me. It has been very beneficial to have that information and come back and make some different decisions to better Sky High. One of which being Chief and I got together and ordered a walkthrough metal detector to help with our security at Sky High a little bit better. So we used it for the first time for the concert that we had on the Sunday after BFO. And we're going to tweak it and use it again for Stampede. And hopefully it'll help our guests as well as our staff feel a little bit more secure with our larger events, especially as we start to have some different types of events as well. BFO went off without a hitch. We did add the San Luis Valley Health Bolos and Boots fundraiser to the same night, which was a little bit of a challenge, but we got through it. We had about 325 people for the fundraiser, and then probably close to about 1,300 for BFO for the bullfighters only. So that was a really fun night. I think everybody got to enjoy it a little bit differently than they did last year and got to know it a little bit more. So then on that Sunday, we had that concert. So I don't know if anybody knows him. I didn't before we had him. His name was Louis the Singer. He had a concert in Denver the night before and Albuquerque right after us. And so we were a great little stopping point for him to be able to come through. Working with a local promoter to get that one here. He is interested in bringing more concerts to Monte Vista and to Sky High. So I'm working with him to bring one out in September. He's not sure who he wants to bring just yet, but we might be having more and more concerts out there. So look forward for some of those announcements, and maybe it's somebody that you know or would like to come out and check out. Okay, this week we worked with the Stampede Committee to get the lights in the event center to have dimmers on them. So for some of our weddings and quinceañeras, as well as dances, it's not just bright lights shining everywhere, killing the mood and the atmosphere for the dances. So they asked for it and volunteered to pay for it, as well as work with installation. So we got half of that done this week, and we'll get the other half done after Stampede. So that'll be really nice for our future events as well as Stampede. Along with that, they've also worked on getting the lights in the arena and the grandstands fixed. Some of those are some older lights that aren't necessarily still functional. So they're getting all of that fixed and ready to go for Stampede for us. And then on the same kick of getting things fixed, we are looking into some different heating and cooling options for that lovely building. We're having a little bit of issues with the cooling not being cold enough. It's a little bit of a sauna, but we're working on some different options. So I'll have more information on that here to come for approval and where to go forward. As far as upcoming events, we have Stampede kicking off next week. Don't forget the Chuck Wagon dinner is next Thursday night before the concert over on the banquet room on the conference center side. Of course, all the rodeos, the concerts, all the fun stuff, dances. And then directly following that, we'll have the San Luis Valley Fair from August 5th through August 13th. So we jumped straight into that this year. So if anybody needs anything, we will definitely be at Sky High. That's really all I have. Questions?
I really wish you'd get better.
I know, I'm such a slacker.
For all you have, that's great. Maybe not the right phrase to use for that.
All right, thank you.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
you wanna share?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry. We also did, my bad. We participated in the Fox 21, their week on the Valley. So Sky High did a 15-second video that we played, I think, 25 different times throughout that week. So it's just our little ad promoting Sky High and our first real marketing and advertising adventure for the building. I know. I was a little scared about it. I know. So I did bring the video so that we could show you guys exactly what we did.
Sky High Complex is your premier destination for hosting unforgettable experiences. From elegant weddings and enchanting quinceañeras to thrilling rodeo events and dynamic trade shows, we're here to bring your ultimate vision to life. Nestled in picturesque Monte Vista, visit our website to learn more.
Cute, short, easy, but I think it gets the point across, gets our name out there a little bit more, and gives us the opportunity to expand on that later on, when we do have a little bit more time and help. Perfect.
Thank you, Stephanie. I have one question on, are we replacing the flags out there before Stampede?
They've already been replaced.
Awesome, thank you.
Mhm.
Next.
Kids Connection.
Good evening. Kids Connection is rolling along for the summer. We started the beginning of the summer with between 85 and 90 kids. It thankfully has dropped a little bit in the more math. Still seeing about 65 to 70 kids each day. This week was really slow for us, which was very much needed because it's been really crazy and really hot. So
That's pretty much what we've been doing. Next week is our last week of summer. We had to cut our summer short. That first week of August, we thought we were gonna be able to make things work with the staff that were able to stay with us, but turns out I'm losing everybody except for one staff member and myself and Jesse. So 3 of us was definitely not enough to deal with the numbers that we have been seeing all summer. So last week I made the call to just close a week early. So we'll have 2 breaks before we start the after school programs. So that first week of August, I will be scheduling every interview. Oh, Julie already snuck out. Every interview possible and as many of them as possible to try to find some staff that will hang out with us for a little longer than a year. Our kids have been a challenge this year, and I think I don't want to say they didn't push any of our staff away. It just takes a special person to deal with all of those personalities for 10 hours a day during the summer. And our kiddos broke my staff down to their bare bones this summer. So, oh, sorry, I was taking notes because I didn't prepare myself. I'll have 4 after school positions open and school starts on the 14th of August. So if you know anybody that is really great with kids, we think could deal with all of the chaos that we go through over there, then send them our way and I'll give them a shot. So next week on Monday is our last fishing trip with DJ Salazar. Durbin kind of set this up for us. We've been meeting DJ at different lakes throughout the valley this summer. And so Monday will be our last fishing trip with DJ. And we're gonna be out at Home Lake. And he's also been meeting us on Thursdays and doing nature walks with our little group of kids. So the fishing group is our 3rd grade and older kiddos. And our nature walks are our kindergarten and 2nd grade kids. And he actually stuck it out the whole summer. Our kids ran him wild and he actually had a lot of fun. He would call me at the beginning of every week. It's like, where do we want to go this week? What can we do? So he really just wanted to get the kids outdoors and teach them that like there's a lot to do in this valley and you don't just have to sit in the house and play video games. He wanted them outside as much as possible. And we definitely did that. I still have a freezer full of fish that kids need to take home because we brought a lot of fish on Tuesday when they came back. Let's see. I still have Youth Works helping this week. I believe this week for us is their last week with us. I'm glad that they're working amazing for you guys. They were they were a handful today for us. I was like, has their 2.5 hours like disappeared yet? But we made it through. Our building is just really hot, and so we don't have attention or enough energy to deal with everything that's flying at us. Stampede's coming up next week, and we will have our first place winning float walking through the parade, just so everyone knows we will take first place this year. Putting it out there. I'm super competitive and I need to win every year, and I loved that they gave everyone a participation ribbon last year, but that just wasn't cutting it for me. I needed that first place. Our kids have fun with it, so that's really all I have.
Do you want to talk about the air conditioner project?
Sure. We don't have one yet. I don't know if we get much of an update other than
All the ceiling trusses have been done and reinforced. The frame has been built. Now we're just kind of waiting for her husband to coordinate the electrician and the crane to actually set the air conditioning. That's where we are now. But all the interior stabilization on the trusses and stuff have been done.
it's just really hot. I can't go into my office after.
When it gets done, it'll be done.
Yeah, by about 2 o'clock, my office is sitting at 89 degrees and the whole building, you walk in, I walk to work in the morning and it is the greatest time of my life. The second I open that door, it's like the heater hit you. I was like, if we don't have air conditioning next summer, I'm going to coordinate with one of the nursing homes. They can bring all of their residents over and we will go and use their facility for the summer, because I know when my husband worked at one, they had issues with it not being hot enough. I don't have that issue. They would love it.
then we would be able to open windows wherever we're at, so. Yeah, we're just hot and sweaty, and when you get hot, you get moody. And you're just grumpy, and you're tired, and not enough, not enough energy drinks to make it through the day. So, yeah.
You asked.
I know I'm complaining a lot about it, but it's like, this building is amazing, so I'm enjoying it here. I haven't had enough energy today, so coming into a cold building is great. If you have any questions for me?
Anything else?
Thank you.
What are your feelings on air conditioning?
It would be great if we. I'm in the kitchen all day, so I'm cooking and I go stand from the refrigerator and everybody else is dying. We have a refrigerator stocked with popsicles though, so if you want to stop by and have a popsicle, we can help try to cool you down.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Planning, Mr. Enderly.
For once, I don't have a lot. Good evening. So City Hall's remodel started this week. You'll see scaffolding on at least 2 of the sides already. They will be working through the weekends and on Fridays. They want to move the project along as fast as possible so that they don't get into stucco in November because that kind of welcome. So we're moving along with that. No issues or have been found so far. They've only been out for a couple of days. The website for the land use code revision is live. It should hit our website or hit the city page. And next or Mondays when Judy says it'll be there, and it'll also be available on the Facebook page. I asked that you talk to your constituents and have them go on there and voice their I would like to see and why do we have these problems and why don't we have sidewalks and all these questions that they have and they want to know, or hey, this is working really great. Where are the short-term rentals? Like we really want to get it out there because we want to get as much information from them as possible so that when we create this code, it meets what our customers, residents want and need. When we write this, we're going to but provide good standards. And that's the guidelines I gave the consultants, and that's the guidelines that I'm working with the planning and zoning is permissive, but provide good standards. So that's up and running. We're developing a schedule for the public meetings, stakeholder meetings, individual meetings with various people throughout the community. That'll all be taking place in the months of late August and September. We really wanted to wait until the kids were back in school because as Anika mentioned, kids are hot, they're tired, parents are hot and tired, they don't play in the evening. So this will give them a little bit of time, kids will be occupied, they can get a little more involved. Board of Adjustment will meet on August 7th to hear variance requests. Planning and zoning will meet August 31st as a normal meeting. URA will meet August 1st as a normal meeting. And the last thing I have is we were able to secure an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer for the next year, starting August 5th. We were able to secure the position. Now we have an applicant, so we'll start doing interviews and stuff in the next couple weeks. That's really cool for us because for a relatively low amount of money for the city, we get a full-time employee for the entire year. And so what this person will do is they will be coordinating between us, San Luis Valley Go for Great Outdoors, and the other constituents that were part of the RERC process to action the ideas and things that came out of the community process. So we're moving forward with all the action plans and trying to get tangible things accomplished as far as securing grants, writing grants, moving those projects forward so that the RERC process was not a waste of anyone's time. And on top of the AmeriCorps grants that we were able to secure, SLB Go is going after another $10,000, which will give us some additional staff time from the SLB Go staff to continue the same process. So we're really looking to try to push that out. So the RERC, in case you're not familiar with the final action plan, which we do finally have, the action plans, they span the gamut, right? We just turned in a grant for safe streets for all, which if approved in the planning process, it'll turn Sherman into 90 degrees. It'll help create a trail that will go from Alamosa to Monte Vista. That's part of the REC process. Like that's where we got that idea from. A master trail plan, doing a trail that will roll through Monte Vista and connect us to the kiln and some other places. We have a couple other things that are coming up that are really awesome. And once I have the contract secured, I'll share those with you guys. But all these things are tied to it. So when we talk about the recreational economy for rural communities, it's not just recreation, it is sidewalks, streets, it's downtown venues, it's marketing. So this person's gonna have their hands in a lot of stuff, so it'd be great to bring that person on board. We also have an announcement out for an associate for Rob and I to help with our capacity. So that we can continue moving these grants and these things forward. That announcement went this week. And so we'll send the applicants we get and try to get that position filled as well. So a lot of forward movement, a lot of stuff happened recently, so, but that's all I have for you guys today. Questions?
Sounds like everything's coming together.
Slowly, one step at a time we'll move. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, DJ. PD.
Mine will be much shorter than this. That's short. First of all, as you, like I said, we're at full staff, so thank you. We've had good support from you guys to get it, so it's awesome to finally be at full staff, so let's just hope we can keep it. So for a little bit of follow-up on the traffic issue on the that we talked about. So I was waiting on the data from Pat. He, in here, it says I was waiting on it. He got it to me yesterday. So there's a lot to it. So I will, well, with next week being Stampede, I'm not gonna get to it. And then I've got a few days of vacation. So I'll have it done by the next council meeting, and it'll be very, Pat gave me some really good, so thank Pat for, and I've talked to him, and then we're gonna use him again. We have another one that we're gonna do on Newcomb. There's a, from the ditch down to Stallo, there's need some traffic study there too, to see if there's something we can do about that. And then, as Margaret said, so along the traffic, I guess the traffic issue that I'll be the first to say, we know that traffic's an issue. That's, but when we were shorthanded, we have to prioritize calls. So that's completely understandable. It's not understandable, it's not acceptable, but we just have to prioritize calls. And at one point we were down to 10 officers. So it's pretty hard. You have to go do your criminal calls or do you do traffic? And when you can, but we were just so shorthanded. But the good news is several months ago, CDOT put out they have a traffic safety conference, and Corporal Pino, he got a grant to, well, I got a grant for him to go to that. So he's going to go to the traffic safety summit first week of August, right? Second week of August. So we'd already had this, I think since April, we had this plan for him to go to traffic safety summit. I've been to this, so they give some really good ideas on traffic enforcement and the best practices and stuff like that. And the other thing that we're going to do since he gets back from that is we're going to try and do traffic now that we're again full staff. Realistically, I'm hoping, I told him it's by the 1st of September to start doing weekly or monthly or several times a month of weekly traffic enforcement operations across the city. The data that we get from Pat will really help us. One of the reasons that we need that data is we can go sit, like I went and sat down on Morris 3 different times. And over the course of 3 hours of sitting there, saw 50 cars. 2 were speeding, 1 was doing 37, 1 was 40. And just the initial data that Pat gave me, I haven't looked at it that close, but the average speed on Morris, anybody want to take a guess what the average speed on Morris is? 23.94 miles an hour. That's the average speed. That's 3,800 cars over the course of 2 weeks. Now, obviously, that's a lot of, back and forth from other people. So he broke it down into 2 sections. That's the initial, and he showed me that yesterday. So that's the average speed on Mars is 23.94 miles an hour, which is 6 miles an hour under speed. So, but there's a lot more to go through. Good thing is he gives us the times, like the peak of when traffic is like a different. So he broke it down 2nd to 3rd Street and then 4th to 6th. So we got 2 different sections. So I have to go through all of that. But just what initially was 3,800 cars. And so I'll go through it, write up a report, and I'll bring it back to council, and then I'll get with Justin and Tara and let them know we found as well. And then we'll have recommendations, whether it's, just like sitting initially talking with Pat, he gave some ideas and some different things. So let's see, we've been busy with drug investigations. I can't really see much more than that just because they're pretty sensitive. So Sergeant Martinez and Zeke have been pretty busy with that. I wish I could talk more about them, but eventually we'll be able to release information on them, but just because of confidential, the nature of them, other than we've been using. And the ones that we've done have been pretty successful. And lastly, there were several abandoned homes that caught on fire, and within probably a week, Sergeant Martinez had identified a suspect that we arrested him on arson charges. So I think he's currently still in the jail. Any information on that. Other than that, that's all I got. Any questions?
Thank you for what you guys do.
Appreciate it. Oh, yeah, we have to take meetings.
You've got that all planned out already. correct?
We had that. That's actually fairly.
City attorney report. And so everybody knows, it's Gene's birthday today.
Lunch there.
Okay. So. Well, continuing saga with core requests, we're still working these things, the Sursa General Counsel agrees with the city's position on this, and so does the attorney that they referred it to, that absent, and this is, we talk about the body cam situation here. Absent any allegation of officer misconduct, that there's no basis for distributing that footage, and the relatives never made any such request. So they seem to have the position, well, just the fact that we, the press, are requesting it is tantamount to a valid request. So that's not the way the statute reads. So we're sticking with our guns so far. Okay, conference with GG and DJ yesterday with development procedures for the city on the Sky High Park grounds, master plan, orchestration of the necessary parties, timelines, surveyors, appraisers, all that type of thing. So I think we have some consensus about how that's going to be approached. The COG IGA. So we've been working on that. We've got back some revisions now. I think they could have simplified this whole thing if they had just done what we were asking them to do, is an upfront exclusion for municipalities unless they were going to export water. But they make it a little more complicated than that. But what they've done now is put toward the front, based on our requests, the applicability and exclusions. 2.1.1 is major domestic water treatment systems, which means any collection system for the export of water. And municipal and industrial water projects means a project and any of its components to export water. So they said this is what the applicability of this entire agreement is for. I guess it's a way of approaching this. So I think that's where it's probably going to come down. Some of the, I don't know what Rio Grande County has done yet. They had in that whole agreement that they wanted done with it, but it's drawing it out a little just by the complexity of how they're doing this thing. But it'll come up for our action as soon as we decide that we're going to establish that. In the meantime, I think Alamosa is probably going ahead, and some of the other municipalities are probably going to go ahead too with approving it and setting it for hearing and so forth. And there's no rush on that, so we're kind of taking a sitting back position on it right now. 2 weeks ago at CML, we've got 100, I counted 165 pieces of legislation applicable to municipalities, and I've reviewed all those at this point. Kind of cherry picked a lot of those out that I thought you might want to see and review in your spare time. And so I sent you copies of the synopses of those. and your, you can pull those down on the website there if you want to look at that. Working on the draft of the land use code. And hope to complete that as soon as possible. I responded to WSB, the auditors, on any pending or threatened litigation. The things that have been pending for a while, but nothing new there. Going to meetings with the Basin Roundtable, keep up with what's happening in the water world as it may affect the city. It's every second Tuesday of each month, beginning at 2:00. There was no municipal court since our last meeting. And we just end up saying that things are coming along pretty well, I think, with the Stampede Parade. This might be the second year in a row we've got a full complement of the services on the color guard. So that's getting pretty well lined up. And anybody have any questions? Well, if not, that's it.
Thank you, and happy birthday
Thank you.
again, sir. City manager report.
My report's very short and sweet too. I just want to thank staff. They're all busy and you can tell we've got a lot of irons in the fire. And next meeting, I hope, Rob, I'm thinking about an update on our, the homes that, have the water meter. We have any data on it yet? So that'll be good as well. Rob spoke was on a panel this last week that the Office of Economic Development and International Trade put on, talking about the all of the federal funds coming down the pike. So he was on a panel that helped talk about what it takes to put into the projects and getting all the information for grants together, and he did a nice job, so thank you. There is still a lot of money out there. So if you all will approve like 6 more people, we will continue to go forward. Maybe 7. Just as far as some community news, the little libraries were opened up, and I believe Councilwoman Locke was able to attend all 3. They were located out here at Chapman Park and at Sanchez, thank you, and then Marsh Park. And so we helped put in the concrete so they could be stabilized. This project was really had a very touching meaning to it, because the man that started it, his wife passed away 18 months ago, and she was an avid book reader. And his name's Mike Blenden, and his wife's girlfriend, Kathy Armstrong, said, "What a way to honor your wife and my friend. Let's celebrate with books." And so the one here at Chapman is painted with flowers on the side from his son. And then it's one of those situations where you can take a book or you can add a book and read, and it's for all ages. So Anika was there with a bunch of the kids' connections, and it was a nice little celebration. I'm taking a water education class through the Colorado Education Association. I don't remember now what they call themselves. And I picked it because it's concentrating on the Rio Grande River Basin. So the first couple of classes have all been online. This next week, I'll be out of the office for 2 days and we'll be in the field and working with the Rio Grande Water Conservation District. This Friday is our 3rd art walk for Fridays. So be downtown. Those volunteers have been working hard to put together a nice celebration on the 3rd Fridays of each month. So go support our local artists and merchants. Any questions?
Any word on the chargers that they've got on the park all tore up?
On the
The-
what?
Chargers for the electric cars?
Yeah, isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, Rob, do you have an update there?
They're still working on getting pieces and parts in. They've done some underground trenching of the electrical. Our plan is because of Stampede, we're gonna take some snow fencing and do all of those holes in the snow fence, so there is no access to those holes during. And I'll probably move the dirt, just so that area is cleaned up as possible.
And if you go on Batterson Street, they've started the street project over on Batterson. So, Rob will have an update on that at our next meeting.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. Council committee, city commission, and council reports. Martha?
Don't have anything. Thank you.
Streets are gone.
I don't have anything either.
Mr. Lorenz.
Enjoy the heat while we've got it. It won't be long, winter will be.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, one thing for you guys. We will be having Monty the Cowboy in the parade. If any one of you council members want to walk along, we'll be there both Friday and Saturday. Parade starts at 10, so come on down and walk and wave. Dale did it one day last year. Victor, I still need a couple banner carriers. I'd like your boys to come help. Thank you.
They might be willing.
They
I can ask.
Got forced asked. You guys know what you're gonna be doing on this day? I got you figured out. I went to the BFO, it was a great time. A lot of people are, Steph, you said there was 13.
Right around 1,300, I think.
I couldn't believe the number of people. It was great. So. Met a military guy who lives in Southport. Just due to the fact that my wife had some military medal, some coins. And he was wearing a cap, said retired Army. He sent me a long email about him and his wife. He is a bomb specialist. And he still helps the FBI. So it was really interesting, but it was really cool just to meet the guy because we were seeing his cap and handing him the medal. It was quite a conversation. The email was really good. If you guys want to read it, I'll send it on to you because it was very interesting about the little gentleman. So. Outside of that, I really don't have anything. We need to keep an eye on our neighbors' places and stuff because I caught somebody driving down the alleys taking stuff. I turned it in, but unfortunately they weren't able to get there while they were doing it. And it's a pickup, what I'm gonna tell you.
There was a young man going down Adams Street on a bicycle checking car doors last week. So.
Keep an eye, see something, say something, and with that, I'm gonna tell you, Monty Strong and enjoy Stampede.